Hi, I'm Mel from Intimacy TV. We're all about raw conversation and real education. Today, I want to bring to you a different perspective about relationships and marriage. And I want to explain what I mean when I say be honoured that you were part of someone's journey or that they were part of your journey. So for those of you that have had long-term relationships or been married and actually now divorced, a lot of us will feel, and I'm one of them because I've been married before, you will go through different phases, and bitterness can definitely be one of them. Angry can be one of them, because the reality is that we all run on fear, guilt, shame, and ego. And when something that you believed was going to be forever, a forever thing, and doesn't turn out that way, your nose can get quite out of joint. And it's funny because I remember one night, I actually was at a backpackers, and there was a lady there, and she had the weekend off, she calls it. She had someone to actually look after her children, and so she was there, really hunting for some ass, to get laid. And it was quite funny. So she asked me some questions, and she said, have you been married before? I'm like, yes, I was. I was with my partner for 11 years. And, she basically insinuated like I should hate him. And my reaction was quite the opposite. I've had, 3 very long-term relationships in my lifetime, and I married 2 of them. And I would do it all again. And that was really how I spoke to her. And I'm like, I would 150% do it all again. I would marry each one of them again. I would have each one of my relationships all over again, no matter what happened. And they didn't end in a very pretty way, as most relationships don't. So she wanted to ask me, because she had this puzzled look on her face. Why? How? How is it that you can talk this way and you don't want to kill him? It was like, look, with one of my relationships, don't get me wrong, I was hurt. I did the poor me fucking story for way too long. The reality is if it wasn't for these men, I wouldn't be the woman I am today. If it wasn't for the hurt that I experienced and the love and the joy, because it all came together, I wouldn't actually be doing the work that I do today, which is talking to you guys and so many other professionals out there, and sharing the love of where we can get information, so maybe we can all heal a lot quicker, no matter what our situation is. So when I talk about be very grateful for the journey that you went on, this is what I'm talking about. Remember that you might come out the other end of this relationship, whether a man or a woman, and you could walk out a much stronger being because somebody put you down or beat you or hurt you or hurt your heart. Now, the best thing you can do is not shut it down. I'm not saying do that. Definitely 100% do not shut it down, and do not give up on relationships. However, we need to understand that it takes 2 to tango. You weren't in this relationship on your own. So we stop the finger pointing and instead flip it around. Stop this. Stop the rah. Flip it around and look at this whole experience from another perspective. And I'm warning you, this is a very difficult thing for most people to do. They really struggle with turning the situation around because you love your victim story. You love your poor me. I fucking loved it for way too long. He did this to me and he did that to me. But you know what? He put me on a completely different path of where my life is going to be. So now I'm internally grateful for when he was at what we call an ankle to me, which is lower than a cunt. So when they're really full on and they hurt you, remember that this can make you learn and grow and be a bigger version and a better version of you. So be very grateful to those people for their journey, for the privilege of being on the journey with them to become the person that you are right now. And if you're not the version of you that you like, Go fucking change it. Bye from me.